Okay, so how do I know there's a terrace in this problem? Because of the x cubed. So where's the terrace at? Right, and what's the first step of doing any polynomial function? What are you supposed to do first? Factors. So I'm going to look at the factors. I can already see that the first one's already factored. If the second one factored, in my face. Third one's in my face. What is x squared minus 16 factored? X plus and minus 4. But it says it's squared. The whole thing is squared. So then what would that mean? I have an x plus 4 and an x minus 4, but what would each of those factors be? Squared. Because you'd write x plus 4, x minus 4, x plus 4, x minus 4, which would be x plus 4 squared and x minus 4 squared. Which means not only do I have a terrace, but I also have what else? Tangents. Where are the tangents at? Okay, now let's get to the down to what degree is it? How does it get 9? Counted. Let's count it together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So degree 9 means how many zeros will I have? I'll have 9 zeros. We can find the zeros just by looking at the what? What do you look at to get the zeros of the function? The factors. So if I set this equal to 0, then I'm going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So what's my first 0? And I have how many of those? I'm going to write it to the left because I'm going to run out of space to put 9 numbers up here. All right? And then I have what next? What's my next one? 1, 5. And then I'm going to look. What is that one going to be? Negative 4 again, twice. And then the last two, positive 4 twice. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this an even or an odd function? How do I know? Because the degree is odd. And the maximum number of terms? How do you know that? All right, good. How about the maximum x-intercepts? How do you know that? It's equal to the degree, which is the stuff that we learned a couple classes in a row. In behavior, show me with your arms what that would look like. How do you know it's this? Because A is positive, so it's going to start like that and end like that and junk in between. Make sense? So we can describe the behavior without even looking at the graph, knowing what, because of the leading coefficient's positive. So as x approaches negative infinity, where is f of x going to approach? Okay, and then as x approaches positive infinity, f of x is going to approach positive infinity. The one I did not get to do was the local max, so we'll be going over that in a minute. Now, what's the next step once I've done all this? Which you can do this out of order, actually, but right now, what do I need to do? Plot my points that are my zeros, and I look at the largest zero is at 4, so it gives me how much space to make on my graph. Oh, is it 5? Okay, good. So 5, good eye. So one of my zeros is 5. One of them is at 4. And label them as you go, please. 1, you got a 0, and then we got to go to the left. Because it's a sketch, it doesn't really matter how accurate I am. I'm just a little bit OCD. All right, so negative 4 is the other one. Have I missed anything? Oh, you put a point on there. Okay. Now my sketch, see, I know it's going to go down here, and I know it's going to end up going up here. I know that because we just talked about that, but it's nice to do the sign change chart to confirm, all right? So remember to make the sign change chart, we're going to look at where all of the where are all the range of numbers. I forgot to write my negative 4 here. So I know I'm going to have some points to the left of negative 4. So what would be a number that would be to the left of negative 4? Okay? Negative 5. I know I'm going to have some points in between negative 4 and 0.
Negative 2.
Negative 2, negative 1 is fine. Points between 0 and 1. That'll work. You can put 0.1 if you want to. Points between 1 and 4. And points between 4 and 5. And points after 5. Alright, and then you make your table. Okay? And you're going to fill in at the top what? The factors. Any degree that's higher than 1, you want to write the whole thing, you want to write the factor out as the degree. So I have x cubed And then I have an x minus 1. I have an x minus 5. X plus, it doesn't matter what order you go in. I have an x minus 4 squared. And then what's the final thing I write? Your y value, your f of x, which is your output. And that's actually, this graph is nasty looking, but stay with me. What we care about really is this. This is the part of the graph, part of the answer thing that we need. Okay? All right, now we take these test points and we plug them into the factor above. And you're just looking for the signs. That's why it's called a sign chain. You're just looking for the sign, either positive or negative. So is this going to be positive or negative? If I cube negative, cube a positive, cube a positive, cube a positive, cube blah, blah, blah. Okay? If I subtract 1 from negative 5, negative, 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 everybody else is positive. Next one, subtract 5 minus 5, next one, next one, next, next, next. What's happening? I don't know what that's all, why I have that there. Just ignore that. Y'all with me? I overkilled my chart. Anyway, but if I did go after 6, it would match these, because it would be the same location. Okay, if I square anything, so the last two are real easy. I'm just going to put a big plus right there because I'm being lazy. Y'all with me? Everybody down there's plus. Now, what we're looking at is the multiplication, the product of all of these. And really, the way to figure it out quickly is just look at the negatives. If you have an odd number of negatives, what is it going to be? So what's the first one going to be? Next one? Next? 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 No, we're awesome. All right. So then I'm going to go to my picture, and I'm going to go, I know that this is going to be negative, and the next interval is going to be negative as well. The third interval is going to be positive. Fourth interval is negative. Fifth interval is negative, and the sixth interval is positive. A lot of negatives going on there. I'm feeling depressed. Okay? Why aren't you writing? You already did this one? In tutoring? I know. The video didn't work. I don't know what happened. All right, so now that means I know how to graph it, which I already knew it went down, which is an encouragement for me. But look, see how it's going down again? Well, how could I'm supposed to go through 4. What does that mean? It's a tangent, which confirms I already wrote that it was a tangent. So I'm going to curve it at 4, touch it at the graph, come up through what? 0, because it's where it's going positive. But wait, what does it say 0 is? Now that's kind of hard to graph. Let me undo this. I like to do the terrace first, so I might just kind of go like that, like make a little curvy thing right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you know that it's got to be a little squiggly right around the tangent. And then I got to shoot back down through 1. It's negative until I get to 4. Am I going to go up or what? Tangent again. It's going down, and then it goes up. And there's my picture. Good job, guys. Good job, guys.